Hello and welcome to the Moon Scarab channel. My name is Ramon. This video is the first in a series of 4 videos, one each week for July's topic in collaboration with the YouTube channel Amethyst Ascension and the Facebook community page Divination and Spirituality. If you haven't subscribed to these channels or followed the Facebook page, you'll find the links in the description below. Please join us too, as we've created this experience together to be something truly nourishing and alive. Alongside this video, there's a beautiful digital journal created by Rochelle from Amethyst Ascension that you can download for free. The journal offers reflections, exercises, and spreads for your own insights, making these teachings into a living, breathing workshop that you can return to again and again. So, let's take a breath together, let yourself arrive at this moment, and let's begin. Today, we're going to spend time exploring something both ancient and urgently relevant, the divine masculine. And you might have heard this term before and wondered, what is it really? Is it about men? Is it about gender roles? Is it about spirituality? The answer is, it's all of these and more. The divine masculine is not confined to a single culture, religion, or identity. It's an aspect of universal energy alive within all of us, regardless of gender. Just like the divine feminine is present in every living being, so too is this sacred fire. We begin at this fire, the flame that has been called by many names across centuries: purpose, will, integrity, direction, protection. It is the flame that can illuminate our lives and helps us build what matters. But when neglected or distorted, it can also burn ourselves, others, and the world in general. In the times that we live in, times of uncertainty, transformation, and awakening, it's more important than ever to reclaim the sacred fire and learn to express it in a balanced, life-affirming way. So what is the divine masculine? In simple language, the divine masculine is a sacred expression of qualities like presence, the ability to be here, fully rooted and awake rather than distracted or dissociated. It's also action, the drive to build, protect, provide, and bring ideas into form. It's also clarity, the capacity to see truth, to discern what is real, and to cut through confusion and illusion. It's also discipline, the strength to follow through on what you know is right, to set and uphold boundaries. And we can also say it's integrity, the commitment to live in alignment with your deepest values rather than ego or fear. These qualities are not about being masculine in a stereotypical sense. These are energies that are available to everyone regardless of your gender identity. In many cultures, the divine masculine has been symbolized by the sun, constant, radiant, life-giving, and unwavering, while the divine feminine is the moon, reflective, fluid, and intuitive. Both are necessary and neither is superior. Now, let's reflect on this question. Where in your life do you already express these qualities? And where do you feel called to strengthen them? In my case, I express presence when I sit with a friend who is grieving, simply holding space without trying to fix it. I also express discipline when I keep my morning practice even on hard days. But I feel called to strengthen clarity, especially in my relationships, where I sometimes avoid hard truths. Why do we need to talk about this now? Why does it matter? Because so much of what we've been taught about masculinity has been shaped by distortion. For many centuries, societies have promoted the image of masculinity, equating strength with aggression, leadership with dominance, worth with conquest. We see the consequences in countless places: emotional repression, where feelings are swallowed or turned to stone; violence and control inflicted on others as an outlet of unprocessed fear; disconnection from purpose, lives lived in numbness or constant striving; shame to be vulnerable, where softness is mistaken for weakness. These distortions wound everybody, not just men. They keep us cut off from the flame that can heal, protect, and create. When we talk about reclaiming the sacred masculine, we're not longing for something imagined, past, or outdated roles. We're talking about an evolution of consciousness, a return to wholeness, where power and tenderness can coexist. I'm going to give you an example story. Once I knew a man in his 60s who's built an impressive career, but inside he felt like a stranger to himself. For decades, he believed that his worth came from achievement alone. But when he finally began speaking his fears and listening to the quieter voice of his heart, he wept and said, I'm just now learning how to be a man. That is the power of integrating the sacred masculine with being able to be vulnerable. Now, the archetypes of the divine masculine. To understand this energy more deeply, let's explore some archetypes, which are universal patterns that live in our shared imagination. Each of these has a healthy expression and a distorted shadow. The first one is the king. The healthy version is a sovereign, wise, and a bringer of blessing. He holds a stable center that governs with fairness and vision. What's the distortion of it? The tyrant, which is controlling, insecure, and oppressive. The second archetype is the warrior, and the healthy version of it is one that protects, defends, takes clear and courageous action. Its distortion is the destroyer, which is violent, reactive, and cruel. The third archetype is the magician, and the healthy version of it is one that brings insight, knowledge, and transformation, and it connects the material and the spiritual realms. The distortion is the manipulator that uses knowledge to deceive or to control. The fourth archetype is the lover, and the healthy version is one that feels passion, connection, vitality, and honors beauty and relationship. Its distortion is the addict, consumed by desire and seeking escape. And the fifth archetype is the sage, and the healthy version is one that embodies clarity, perspective, and understanding, offers guidance without ego. Its distortion, the cynic, is withdrawn, bitter, judgmental, and avoids being vulnerable. Now, let's reflect on a question. Which of these archetypes feels most alive in you, and which feels hidden or underdeveloped? In my case, the warrior feels alive, undependable in crisis, in moments of crisis, but the lover feels hidden. Intimacy makes me sometimes anxious, so I keep parts of myself close. And I'm talking of emotional intimacy. Now, how do distortions happen? Let's understand where these distortions come from. Almost always, they're rooted in fear. Fear of weaknesses, fear of rejection, fear of not belonging, or fear of failure. From childhood, many are taught to be strong is to be unemotional, to be valuable is to dominate, to be safe is to control. These lessons can turn into a lifelong of patterns, right? Shutting down emotions, over identifying with work or status, needing to win at any cost, resisting softness in relationships. And over time, these patterns become walls around the heart. They choke the vitality and the clarity of the sacred masculine of things. An example story: a man I worked with shared that as a boy, anytime that he cried, his father would say, "Stop acting like a baby." Eventually, he learned that to feel anything was to be unworthy. It took decades and a lot of courage to discover that being vulnerable is not a weakness, it's a door to connection. So, how do we reawake the sacred fire? How do we begin to ignite the flame again? Here's some practices that you can begin with this week. 1. Self-inquiry. Reflect. Am I acting from fear or from my center? Am I reacting to old wounds or responding to wholeness? Number 2, emotional awareness. Learn to name what you feel. Remember, vulnerability is clarity, not deficiency. Number 3, purpose and service. Align your energy with something larger, a mission, a cause, or a community. Why? Because the sacred masculine thrives in devotion. Number 4, healthy boundaries. Practice saying no without guilt. Boundaries are acts of respect for yourself and others. Number 5, integration of feminine energy. Honor your intuition and emotional depth. The most alive masculine energy is always in relationship with the feminine. And let's reflect on this question. What step could you take this week to reawaken this flame? In my case, I could begin each day by speaking the qualities that I want to embody. I could practice saying no in one situation where I feel pressure to abandon myself. Now, in this section, let's explore a tarot spread, which I titled My Inner Flame. To help you connect with these energies, here's a tarot spread that you can try. And the questions are, number 1, what aspect of my power is ready to be awakened? Number 2, what fear or distortion is dimming my light? Number 3, what does my sacred masculine want to say to me now? Number 4, what action could align me with my soul's fire? And for this reading, I'm going to be using this amazing tarot deck titled The Healing Light Tarot by Christopher Butler. It's one of my favorite decks and it's the ideal one for this spread. So let's explore it together. For the question of what aspect of my power is ready to be awakened, I got the Emperor. And to me, this is my inner authority and steadiness are emerging. And it's time to build structure and claim my place. Card number 2, what fear or distortion is dimming my light? And I got the 5 of Pentacles. And I interpret this as fear of not being good enough keeps me on the outside looking in. Card number 3, what does my sacred masculine want to say to me now? And I got the King of Swords. And I feel that the card is saying to be clear, be honest, and that my truth is needed. Card number 4 in the spread asks, what action would align me with my soul's fire? And I got the Knight of Wands. And I read this as saying, take bold, inspired action and don't wait for permission. So this week, speak aloud the qualities that you believe live in the sacred masculine self. You might say things like, I'm steady, I'm protective, I'm clear, I am compassionate, I am courageous, I'm honest, I am devoted to what matters. Write them down. Place them somewhere where you see them every day. Let's journal. When did I learn to fear or distort my power? In my case, I learned to fear my power when I noticed that my confidence made others uncomfortable. I began believing that it was safer to shrink than to risk criticism. Question number 2 that I might want to journal on is, when did I feel my power was holy? And I want to think that I felt that my power was holy when I stood up for someone who was being treated unjustly. I wasn't performing strength, I was embodying it. Let's explore the call of our time. We're living in a time where paradigms are collapsing. People are longing for a model of strength that doesn't dominate, but that uplifts. Imagine a world where more people embody this energy, right? Leaders who serve rather than conquer. Parents who protect without suppressing. Partners who show up with presence and dignity. This is the call, to ignite the flame inside and let it become a transformative force. Now, let's close this video with the following reflection. As we end, I invite you to breathe and consider, where is your sacred fire? What keeps you from tending it? How would your life feel if you reclaimed it fully? Remember, the divine masculine does not need to shout to be heard. It listens inward and moves outward with devotion. When you reclaim the sacred fire, you don't just heal yourself, you become a beacon for others. Thank you for taking this time to explore and honor your inner flame. If you find this valuable, please subscribe and join us for the next videos in the series. And don't forget to download your free journal below. Until next time, may your flame burn clear in truth. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and blessings to all.
If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. And click the subscribe button for more future videos about tarot, divination, and other esoteric topics.